Hi there, nice to see you again. In this video, we dive into the topic of unenclosable carriers, future of communication, and why Holochain plays a key role here. This is inspired by a blog article that I'm going to include down in the description. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up for me and maybe give a suggestion on what topics I should cover next in the comments. Now, let's get it started. Ever wondered how communication might look like in the future? Now that's a question to ponder upon. Let's take a walk down memory lane first, shall we? Imagine communication as a river. In the early days of humanity, the river of communication was but a mere trickle. This was the era of oral traditions, where stories and information flowed from mouth to mouth. It could be likened to a small stream gurgling through a forest, pure and unencumbered. Then we discovered written language. Suddenly the stream swelled into a river. Now ideas could be captured on parchment and clay tablets, shared and preserved. It was like the first rains of the monsoon, filling up the stream and giving it a newfound power and reach, but the river was still bound by physical constraints. Enter the printing press. This was like a beaver building a dam across our river. It drastically changed the flow of information, making it more controlled and widespread, and just like a beaver would smirk at its dam, we marveled at the sheer genius of the printing press. It was a game changer, folks. Then came broadcast media, like the radio and television. This was akin to the river merging with other water bodies and becoming a lake, broad and expansive. Information was no longer a slow, trickling stream, but a roaring, powerful force that could reach millions in an instant. Finally, we arrived at the era of the internet, the vast ocean into which our river eventually flowed. With the internet, communication became boundless, transcending geographical barriers. It was as if our lake had burst its banks and flooded into the open sea, creating an information superhighway that connected every corner of the globe. Here we are, floating in this vast ocean of digital communication where information zips around at the speed of light. Quite a journey, wouldn't you say? From a small stream to a vast ocean, the evolution of communication has been nothing short of spectacular. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? So, where does this river of communication flow next? Have you ever felt like a puppet controlled by invisible strings? Imagine each string as a communication channel, pulling and tugging you in different directions. This imagery captures the essence of carrier enclosability, a term that may sound like it's straight out of a sci-fi novel, but it's a concept that's been shaping our lives for centuries. Just as a puppeteer controls a puppet, so too do those who control the medium of communication control the message and, by extension, the users. It's like being in a puppet show where someone else is pulling the strings, determining not just what you say, but also how and when you say it. The history of communication is replete with examples of this enclosability. From the oral traditions of ancient societies where stories and knowledge were passed down through generations, to the written word, which gave those who could read and write an immense power over those who couldn't. The invention of the printing press amplified this power, enabling the mass production of ideas and information, but also the potential for manipulation and control. With the advent of broadcast media and the internet, the puppeteer's strings have only grown stronger and more pervasive. Now they don't just control what we say, but also what we see, hear, and even think. The power to shape perceptions, influence behaviors, and control narratives lies in the hands of those who control these mediums. This concentration of power has led to imbalances and the potential for corruption. But what if I told you that we could cut those strings? What if we could take control of the puppet show and become the puppeteers ourselves? Imagine a world where communication is not a one-way street, but a shared, collaborative process. A world where power is distributed, not concentrated. A world where we, the users, are not just passive recipients of information, but active participants in its creation and dissemination. But what if we could cut those strings and gain control? What if we could reclaim our voices from the puppeteers and create a new paradigm of communication? It's not just a dream, but a possibility that's closer than you think. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this exciting new frontier in the next scene. Have you ever seen a swarm of birds moving in perfect synchronization? It's an awe-inspiring spectacle, isn't it? Each bird, while seemingly independent, contributes to the collective motion, creating an intricate dance that's as beautiful as it is complex. This, my friends, is a lot like the concept of blockchain and decentralization, potential solutions to the issue of carrier enclosability. Picture this, a network where each participant or node operates independently yet contributes to the collective. Just like our bird swarm, there's no single leader, no centralized control. Instead, the power is spread out, the responsibility is shared, and the entire system becomes resistant to corruption and control. This is the essence of blockchain technology, a decentralized ledger where each transaction is transparent and independent, yet contributes to the integrity of the whole. But let's take a step back and think about that flock of birds again. It's not just about the lack of a single leader, it's also about the communications happening between the birds. They don't need a master plan to move in harmony. Their communication is real-time, instinctive, and based on the actions of their neighbors. It's this dynamic, responsive communication that allows the flock to move as one. Now imagine a communication system that mimics this natural phenomenon. A system where messages are not controlled by a single entity, but rather each message is independent, transparent, and contributes to the collective understanding. This is the promise of blockchain technology in the realm of communication. It offers a potential solution to the problem of carrier enclosability by reducing the power of any single entity to control or manipulate communication. But is there a way to achieve this without needing everyone to agree on everything? Stay tuned as we delve into this question and explore the potential of Holochain in our next segment. Ever seen a group of ants working independently yet achieving a common goal? Picture that for a moment. Each ant, in its minuscule world, is a master of its own actions, yet every ant contributes to the overall success and survival of the colony. This, my friends, is the heart of the Holochain concept. Holochain is like an ant colony in the world of communication technology. It's a new way of designing and deploying internet applications that are hosted by the users themselves, just like each ant hosts its own existence. It's a peer-to-peer network where every user is a node that stores and shares data. But here's the kicker. Holochain doesn't require global consensus. Unlike blockchain, which requires every node to validate and record every transaction, Holochain allows each user to function independently. Just like an ant carrying a leaf doesn't need the approval of the entire colony. This makes Holochain faster, more efficient, and more scalable than blockchain. But wait, there's more. Holochain is also unenclosable. What does that mean? Well, in the world of ants, no single ant can control the communication or data flow of the entire colony. Similarly, in a Holochain network, no single entity, not even the creators of the network, can control or manipulate the data. Each user has complete control over their own data and how it's used. In essence, Holochain aims to empower individuals, promote decentralization, and disrupt the traditional power structures inherent in our current communication systems. It's about breaking free from the chains of centralized control and stepping into a world where every voice matters, every user has control, and every action contributes to the overall system. But like our ant colony, the success of this system relies on individuals working together to achieve a common goal, a fair, efficient, and unenclosable communication system. So, are we ready to step into this new era of communication? Can you imagine a world where communication is free, open, and uncontrolled by any single entity? Picture this, a vast sky, open and unbound, where every bird is free to fly wherever it pleases, no fences, no restrictions, just a boundless expanse of azure where each bird can chart its own course, sing its own song, and reach new heights. This is what Holochain offers us, a communication system as open and free as the sky itself. In this world, each of us is like a bird. We can express our thoughts, share our ideas, and connect with others without the fear of being censored or silenced. We're not confined by the walls of a cage crafted by powerful entities who control our communication channels. We're free to explore the vast expanse of the digital sky, unrestricted and unenclosed. Consider the implications of such freedom. We would be able to foster a more inclusive and equitable society where everyone has a voice. No longer would we have to worry about our messages being manipulated or our voices being stifled. We could ensure that our communication remains pure and untainted, free from the influence of power structures. Moreover, this new form of communication could spur innovation and creativity. Just as birds soar to new heights, we too could push the boundaries of what's possible. We could collaborate more effectively, share knowledge more openly, and solve complex problems more efficiently. But this isn't just a distant dream or a fanciful vision, it's a reality that's within our grasp thanks to Holochain. This revolutionary technology is bringing us closer to a future where communication is truly free and open. It's breaking down the barriers that have enclosed our communication carriers for far too long. So let's embrace this new era of communication. Let's spread our wings and soar into the boundless digital sky. Let's explore new horizons, sing our own songs, and chart our own courses. Let's make the most of this freedom that Holochain offers. Welcome to the future of communication, where the sky's the limit.